Good morning, fellow yarn nerds. Happy Vlogmas, day 20. Yeah, day 20, it's Monday. And I didn't record much this weekend, which you will have probably seen. I haven't even edited the last couple of days. I've just been like in full gift knit mode, like just trying to get those done. And yeah, since I want to show you my progress, I think I showed no, I didn't actually show. I don't, maybe not. Did I show you I started these? I can't remember. I haven't watched the videos back, but anyway, this is the second sock of the first one of the pair that I started. I have another pair to do after this. All in a week. So Adrian's Christmas story socks might not get done in time. So that's kind of a bummer, but I think Lauren from Granite State Yarns, if you're watching her Vlogmas, she said something about, which made me laugh, about Christmas. There being 12 days of Christmas after Christmas or something to that effect, which I thought was so funny because, you know, if you're gifting stuff to people, maybe close loved ones, you know, like a significant other, they'd probably understand. But anyway, yeah, started this. I did this much all yesterday, so I don't think I showed this because this was Sunday's work. I cast it on and did all this, and then Saturday when we were watching The Witcher, I finished the second, which I'm actually going to show it now, the second one of the gift knit that I was talking about that I haven't showed, but this is ready for the gusset increases, so I'm going to do that today, and the rest of it, hopefully I can finish this today. That's my goal. I would have done more on this yesterday, but for some reason even though I knit all this, I just wasn't feeling it. I really, and I said this on another Vlogmas, I have determined I hate knitting double-stranded. It doesn't matter if it's DK weight double-stranded or worsted, I just don't like it. And I wish it was just like, oh, I don't like the yarn, like the black or the yellow or whatever, and this is Knit But I did that with the Cozy Knitter ones too, and I just hated holding it double. Just hated it. So I think from now on, these will be the last pairs that I ever hold double. It's either going to be a true DK weight worsted or fingering weight just held single, and that's okay. And that's actually something that's that's come out of this month and doing Vlogmas. And even though I'm like stressing out about getting all the gift knits done, I've actually learned a few good things about me and my personal preferences when it comes to creating. And so that's been good. Like this, for example, I don't like double-stranded. I love DK socks that I've knit. I've knit one pair and I'm knitting a second pair. And those are amazing, but it's a single strand of DK. And that's my preference. And I've knit fingering weight socks. Again, that's my preference. Worsted. Same thing. So I'm just, you know, learning these things about myself, and then, you know, just, I don't know, it's just my preferred way of doing things. And that's been a good takeaway from Vlogmas. It's been kind of stressful because I've been trying to edit every day and make sure I get them up, and I have slowly failed this last week. But I think it's because I'm trying to make sure I get all the knitting time in that I can for these gift knits. And next year, I won't be like that. I'm going to have to plan better in advance, gift knits. And I think I talked about that, and that's what I'm going to do, and just knit slowly throughout the year for gift knits. So, yeah. It wouldn't have been as stressful if I wasn't worrying about knitting any gifts. So what are you going to do? And I lost like a week-ish of time in the beginning, like the first like 5-6 days or something, working on my cowl, trying to get it done. And if I'd had those days and already, because these I didn't decide to make until like midway through December for people. So if I hadn't decided this beforehand, wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But anywho, let's take a sip of coffee. I'm not going to ramble too much on today because I need to get going on those. Yeah, and the videos are going to be shorter and shorter just because I am trying to crank these out. But yeah, knitting on all of these things like so much all at once has kind of just taken my knitting mojo and just kind of like on it. And I think it's mostly because I'm dying to cast on some selfish knitting. Because, you know, I got all that yarn in the mail, all the yarn on my wall, just all the things that I want to knit for myself. And so this is Vlogmas Day 21. This is the first time I picked up the camera today. Like I said in previous videos, I'm in full gift knit mode, so my videos are going to be very short and I need to get them edited and uploaded, but I'm trying to get a couple gift knits done. I just broke a dang nail. I did want to update you on Adrian's socks because yesterday I just wasn't feeling knitting on the black and white socks, and I don't care for them. So anyway, I sewed a little bit, got some sewing in, because I haven't done that in a minute, and I picked up Adrian's sock and worked on it. And this is not all from yesterday. I had the toe and 10 rounds done when I picked it up. I did the whole foot, all of the gusset increases, and the turn heel. And then I think I did 2 rows past the turn heel. So I did all the rest of this today while I was waiting for the oil in my card to be changed. But yes, they're looking so good. I'm trying to use up all of the yarn. I split this cake in half, so it's a 50 gram each of DK. So I'm trying to use it up. And then like I said before, the cuff will be green and the other sock will be switched. So the cuff and the toe will be red and then the heel will be green. And I did do a contrast heel, Fleagle heel, as you can see. And I think it turned out pretty nice. I just kind of winged it. There wasn't really a pattern or any video I could find that showed you how to do this. So I just kind of figured it out on my own. But I wanted to show, I talked about the Very Pink Knits, how she does a knit 2 together on the right side instead of a slip knit. And I did that for this. And look how much better the decreases look. Oh, genius. And it doesn't even change how it looks. Like, let me see if I can show it. I still think it looks so good. Look at that. It looks nice on both sides. So there you go. This side looks a little different than this side because how I did this, and I can show it in a video if anybody's interested, but basically before I started the turn heel, after I finished the increases, I picked up the red on this side. I picked up the red on this side and started in, and then did my knit 2 past the marker in the center, knit 2 together, and then turn, etc. That whole spiel. So yeah, looking quite nice. And if anybody's wondering how yarn over increases look at that line of increases. It looks so sharp. And it's so much easier than make ones or knit front back. And it's easy to tell if you need to increase or not. So if you're wondering if that's something you should try, you totally should. And I also do that for the toe. For my increases for the toe. There's that. Oop. So yeah, you get a nice line of increases, and these are just yarn overs. So anyway, I also wanted to say, Lauren from Granite State Yarns, the little sneak, she sent me a belated birthday present / Christmas present. And of course I opened it. So And I will have already messaged her on Instagram to say thank you. But if she's watching this, Lauren, thank you so much. I was so surprised, but look what she sent me. Oh, look how beautiful. Look at that. And this is DK, which I'm so excited about because you would not believe how hard it is around here to find DK sock yarn. Let me know if anybody else is like that with your local yarn stores. I mean, and to be honest, I have a hard time finding the sock yarn that I like too, but yes, this is her DK base, which is 75/25, and I love it. That's what this is. This is hers as well. 75/25 DK, and it just knits up so beautifully. I mean, look at the stitch definition. Oh, I love it. It's just, her yarn is a dream to work with. I absolutely love it. But anyway, this is her. She released 2 new ones this month. I think the other one was like a red and blue set, and I think she called it Red Hot. And she's knitting with that, and it looks so wonderful. This one's called Neon Flash. That's the big one. And then you have the purple and green minis, which are Hope is the green one, and Purple Glow is the mini. So I'm probably going to knit these up the same way I'm doing these. I need to perfect my heel turn technique. So I'll just talk about that for a second. If you're thinking of trying the Fleegle heel and you want to do a contrast heel, because most of the videos I've watched talk about how you can't do it. Well, yes, you can. So for this one, I actually did it a little bit different than the true Fleegle heel calls for, because a true Fleegle heel, you increase on the back needle, it's to the total number of stitches minus 2. So for like this one, it's 48 stitch count. So I should have increased to 46 on the back needle, but I decided to do 44, and here's why. In the instructions, basically when you're doing your heel turn, the last row that you do the heel turn on, if you do minus 2, the total number minus 2, here at the end, you'll go all the way to this end on the right side, but over here you'll still have 2 stitches. And then when you come back around, because then you go in the round again after that last row, and then you just decrease on this side when you come back to it. But you'll still have 2 extra stitches to pick up, or I'm sorry, to decrease. So normally you would do that, like you'd do this one, knit around, come back around, and then just do 1 on each side and it'd be fine. And so I thought to myself, well, are those 2 stitches really necessary? Does it affect the fit? Because it's just an extra step for you to remember. Not that it's hard to remember, but I was just wondering, kind of as an experiment, would it affect the fit? Because basically that would be just 1 stitch less in each side of the gusset. That's pretty much all that is the equivalent to. And these fit me fine. And Adrian's foot is just slightly bigger than mine by like 1/4 of an inch longer. So these fit me. They're just a smidge long, but they'll fit him, obviously. But yeah, it didn't affect, like there's no extra stretching around the foot. So I think you could do that. And what that does is that leaves just the decrease needed to be done on this side. And if you can see, let me see if I can show it. I kind of closed it up, but if you can see, there's like looks a little funny on this side. And that's because I picked back up. I didn't cut the yarn and I picked it back up here, but I still had 2 stitches. So basically this yarn was stretched across 2 stitches to get to the 3rd one so I could knit back across. And in the instructions, they tell you not to go back and finish decreasing. But I don't really know why. So I think on the second one of this, I think I'm going to try that. And just basically do the one on this side, purl back across, and close up the 2, pick back up the main color, and then go back across and then start working in the round again. And then you don't have any extra decreases. I haven't really found anything online that would say why you're not supposed to do that. So I'm gonna try it out and see if it affects anything. And so far, taking out the total number minus 4 stitches did not. I mean, I don't have a very high arch, and neither does Adrian. I think I just have like a normal arch, just an average. So if you have maybe a higher arch, that might be why. But these fit really, really well. Really good. And anyway, so yeah, if you're wanting to do a contrast heel on a toe-up sock for a Fleegle heel, it is completely doable. And if anybody wants, I could try to do a video. I'm not a tutorial person. I'm not really a teacher. But if that's something, you know, you'd want a video on, because, and I know this is going to sound bad, but all the videos that I've watched where people show a contrast Fleegle heel, it's part of a pattern, and they want you to obviously buy the pattern that they've designed. And there's other stuff in the pattern, but I just wanted instructions on how to change the color. I didn't care about the pattern. I didn't want the pattern sock. I just wanted to know, where do you pick up the yarn? So, yeah. Anyway, so there's that. I'm hoping to have this done today. I'm trying to use up all of the yarn. I think I said that already. And then I will do the cuff. I'll just do a 20 round cuff. And he likes a longer sock. This is about as long as I could do it for me. This would be as long as I would do mine with the cuff, because my calf I have a wider calf. So I would have to do calf shaping, and I don't care to do that. So anyway, I'm hoping to have this one done today. The black and yellow sock that I showed, it's the second one of the pair. I'm at the point where I can do the increases, and that one should go pretty quick because I'm only doing 20 rounds after the heel turn and then a 10 round cuff. So it's shorter than this one. And then I need to start the second pair and then the second sock of this. And then I think if I have time, we'll see. I have a lot to do over the next couple of days. The Cozy Knitter Advent ones that I knit double stranded, because I could start and finish one of those socks in a day. I think I'm going to give the pair to Adrian, because I didn't really care for the way that it fit me, the one that I made, the first one. And he tried it on and he's like, yeah, it fits fine. But I just didn't care for it. And I talked about that already, but, so I think I'm going to just knit that and gift that to him. And depending on how much yarn it uses, to do a second one to match, I might have enough left over where I could knit myself like a shorty pair, and I will totally do that to use up the rest of the yarn. But this time, I know if I'm going to knit it single, I have to use a 2mm, and I already have needles, so it'd be fine. But yeah, yes, I just wanted to show that progress because I think it looks so adorable. I love those colors so much, Lauren. You did such a great job. I can't wait to gift these to him. He does not know I'm knitting on these right now. I've been hiding it from him. And these are obviously Christmas Story inspired, and that's his favorite movie. So I want to gift these to him on Christmas so that we can watch the movie and he can wear his socks. But yes, I wanted to get on here and say thank you so much, you guys. You and Anna are just like the sweetest people in the whole world. I was so not expecting this. Yeah, I had a thing saying I had a package showing up, and I was like, well, it's probably for Adrian. And I checked the mail and saw it was for me, and I'm like, oh, that little sneak, Lauren. But yes, oh, these are going to be so beautiful. And I can't wait to have another DK pair of socks in her yarn. And I already messaged her that the other day that I love, love, love my socks that I made with her leaf peeping yarn, and I wear them all the time. And so I can't wait to have another pair with her yarn. I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm going to finish knitting on these. I have no idea how much yarn I have left, but, or at least in grams, but here's how much I have left of it in the Cozy. It's getting very, very thin. Bag just dropped. So yeah, oh, and this, I'll just mention this because I wrote it down. Because I wanted to make sure I had enough of the green for the heel on the other one. I weighed the red before and after, and this used about 2.5 grams of the DK. So if you're curious how much it would use, depending on your foot size and how many stitches. But for this one, for a 48 stitch count, I used 2.5 grams. So not bad. And they're 20 gram. Yeah, they're just like these. They're just 20 gram minis, like these ones. So 20 grams should be more than enough, because I think the green, I weighed it afterwards instead of before, but if it was 20 grams, I think I have like 17 left for the green. So the toe like hardly used any of it. So I'm probably gonna have some leftovers, which is fine because I have some leftover of the leaf peeping yarn. So depending on how much I have left of maybe some of this, I might get tired of and just want to start the cuff. Because right now I'm almost at 30 rounds past, this is my heel turn marker of the end, the last round, but I'm almost at 30 rounds for the leg, and it's getting quite long. So, and then you add 20 rounds for the cuff. This is gonna be a long sock, but anyway, that's enough babbling. I'm gonna knit, and maybe I'll get some video editing done tonight because I am so behind on Vlogmases. I think I'm like 4 or 5 days behind now. So, and they're all on here. They're all on my phone waiting to be uploaded and edited and all that good stuff. So anyway, maybe I'll show you guys the finished progress if I get it done later. All right, talk to you later. One sock done, everybody. And look how beautiful it turned out. I love it so much. So I ended up not using all of the yarn. The main color for the first ball, I think I weighed it and I have like 13 or 14 grams left. And so I did 30 rounds past the last, where this marker is. That was the end of the heel turn. And then I did 15 rounds for the cuff, and that seemed good. I can't show it very well. There we go. That looks a little better. Yeah, so this is the Granite State Yarns and her Glorious Christmas sock set in DK weight. So tomorrow I will get started on the second one, and hopefully I can knit it just as fast. All right, that'll be it for tonight. Good night, everybody.